Welcome to Unity with Pam, with your host, Pam Willis-Hovey.
Hello and welcome back to Unity. We are here on location at Midas in Columbus, and we're doing our auto care car for the summer. And I have a wonderful man with me. You've seen him on my show several times. He is Mr. Tony, the manager of the Columbus location on Manchester Expressway. Welcome to Unity.
How you doing, Pam?
Doing great. Well, you know, a lot of people, it's hot. If you live in Georgia, it's hot. What could make your car, once you turn on the AC, lose pressure?
By losing pressure, I assume you mean the engine is bogging down when you turn the AC system on. There's a number of different causes that can do that. Most of the time, it's a compressor issue. Could be a weak engine. It's something that needs to be looked at.
You know, one thing someone else said, their car, it overheats.
When the AC is on?
When the AC is on.
Again, without looking at the car, it's kind of hard to diagnose. My best guess at this point would be something to do with the cooling fans. Maybe they're not coming on like they're supposed to, or restriction in the radiator or condenser.
So listen to me, until you come up here and get your car checked out, you're gonna be hot if you live in Georgia. We got a cute looking car right here. It's my favorite. It's a Chrysler. I call that the big girl's version of the Cadillac. And this car is having some heating issues. Tell my viewers about what they're seeing.
Oh, this car came in, it's been a while back, but it had two blown head gaskets. We replaced the head gaskets. Engine ran great, about 45 minutes, and then it started knocking. Just too much pressure in the heads. They ran it too long with overheating, and now we're putting another engine in it.
When it causes the car to overheat, would it be because it doesn't have enough fluids, or are we supposed to check it out, or
overheating?
What can we do?
An overheating issue can be caused by many things. Stuck thermostat. Most common is a broken hose or leaking antifreeze. This one had a head gasket that had failed, causing the coolant to be burned through the combustion chamber and out the tailpipe. That can cause a severe overheating issue.
So when will you know you don't went too far, I need to go and get it into a shop? Because you know when you don't have much money, you're going to push it till you can push it.
The best advice I can give anybody is to get their car checked out regularly. Every oil change, have them check the cooling system, make sure your antifreeze is level, you have the correct amount in it, it's the right stuff that goes in the car. Barring that, the only way to really tell if you have an overheating issue is to listen to it. It's going to bubble, it's going to make noise, you're going to have steam come out of the engine, and worst case scenario, you ruin the engine, it's not going to run correct.
Let me ask you something. When you said something about you might have a leaking hose or something like that, how often should you change your hoses, or how often should you check the hoses?
I would recommend checking the hoses with every oil change.
Oh.
Georgia heat is hot. Alabama heat's hot. We're gonna double the amount of mileage on a car just instantly, just because of the heat. Okay, so you're putting that car through that much more stress. Best thing to do is every oil change, have somebody inspect it. Look at the hoses. Look at the coolant. You want to make sure it's doing what it's supposed to do. You're not overheating. Your cooling issues are taken care of. If you don't keep the engine cool, the AC is never going to work correct.
So at every oil change, check your hoses?
Yeah, absolutely. And when it's time, you go by the manufacturer's scheduled guidelines when it's time to replace them. Some cars are 40, some cars are 80,000 miles. Just need to look at them, see what your factory schedule maintenance recommends, and then go from there.
What about water pumps? Sometimes water pumps can go out.
Yes, ma'am, they can.
When do you know your water pump is going bad?
Usually you'll see the water or coolant leaking on the ground.
Okay.
That's usually when you know your water pump is bad, or the pump itself is noisy, the bearings are giving out in it, something like that.
How often do they go out, or when, or it depends on the vehicle?
It depends on the vehicle. Okay. Chevrolets are more prone to go out than Fords. A lot of your newer cars, the water pump is internally turned. This one here, the water pump is inside the engine. It's turned by the timing chains. They hardly ever leak.
And you said something too about a thermostat.
Yep.
I had a car with a bad thermostat. How did you know about that?
On your newer models, usually you get a code. The check engine light will come on. It'll tell you P0128, which is the thermostat is stuck wide open. Most of your newer thermostats stick wide open. They do that so that you don't overheat the engine. But when the check engine light comes on, it's saying that the engine is taking too long to warm up. Okay, a stuck thermostat will cause an overheating issue, boiling out the reservoir tank, steam coming out from underneath the hood.
What can cause them to stick?
Corrosion in the cooling system itself. just wear and tear over time.
See, I never knew that, because I will ride something to death. I will ride it to death. So that's why I'm asking this, because in the past, I've had cars with a lot of AC issues. I mean, what about the compressor? You talked about that.
The AC compressor?
Yes.
Every car, make and model is different. Some are better than others. Some give out before others. The best thing you can do is every summer, before the hot season comes, get your AC system inspected. Let somebody look at it, make sure it's doing what it's supposed to do. If you don't have any leaks, it's going to cool like it's supposed to over the summer.
Is it good to get your radiator flushed? Will that help with heat?
By manufacturer suggested guidelines, yes.
Okay.
Some cars are 100,000 miles. Some are 2 years every 24,000 miles. Just need to look and see what the manufacturer suggests for your vehicle.
Okay. Well, we're going back to a commercial break, and then we're coming back more with Tony here at Midas, our auto care show for the summer.
Unity with Pam is being brought to you by these great sponsors.
Is it possible to have a love-love relationship with your cable company? What if they were a different kind of cable company, starting with not asking you to sign a contract? What if they actually listened to what you need, instead of trying to sell you something you don't? And let's say they backed up their service with a money-back guarantee. Just to be crazy, let's say this cable company was made up of happy people who treated you like an actual human being. We're WOW, and we'd like to change the way you feel about cable companies.
Is your weight preventing you from leading a happy, healthy life? West Georgia Health in LaGrange is the only accredited center for weight loss surgery in the region to offer all 3 surgical options, and your procedure may be covered by insurance. To learn more about your weight loss surgery options, visit wghealth.org. West Georgia Health, so healthy together.
For more than 60 years, the Dairy Queen recipe for success has been simple. It's been a combination of hardworking people, great tasting food, and tempting treats served in our establishments every day. Although a lot has changed in 60 years, some things remain the same. The smiles on children's faces, a treat for a good report card, close friends enjoying a great meal, and families spending quality time together. Here at DQ, we are always committed to treat you right.
Welcome you to be a part of our ministry. This is not a put on, but this is a come on. And we come to share in our different ministries with our dance team, with our choir, and our TV ministry. And we looking for great things to happen, great miracles to happen within this great thing to happen, great miracles to happen within this place. Come and be a part of the blessing plan.
Welcome back to Unity. We are here on location at Midas in Columbus, Georgia, on Manchester Expressway, and we're doing our summer auto care show, and we are here with Mr. Tony, who's the manager of this location. Welcome to Unity.
How you doing?
Doing great, Tony. You know, I had a car that came in and was talking about broke lug nuts. How in the world can, if you got a flat tire, you want to take this tire off, put the donut on, and you find out you can't get them off because it's broke? How?
You mean they're stripped on there?
Yes.
Okay. And lug nuts have a tendency to do that. That can be caused by a number of things. Most commonly is over torquing. If you don't torque the lug nuts correctly in the right fashion, you can actually seize that lug nut to the stud, and it makes it almost impossible to come off.
So how can you get them off then?
We use an air gun and break them.
Ooh. So then once you break them, then what's the process you got to go through so that I can get a good tire on
Once we break that stud and the tire's off of it, we can remove the brake components and actually replace the stud, put a new one in, press it back into the hub, and then put the tire back on.
Now with an issue like that, can it affect the driving of the car? Will the tire come off in the road?
Not with a frozen lug nut, no. But if you have missing or broken lug nuts, absolutely.
Oh,
The more lug nuts that are missing, the worse it's going to be. You can't drive a car with one lug nut.
No. Another question. Person wants to know, because you live in Georgia and we have extreme hot temperature, does that affect your brakes?
The heat?
Yes.
Well, the brakes are going to operate around between 200 and 300 degrees when braking anyway. So you're not gonna see the effect of the outside or ambient air heat affect the brake system. Now you can overheat the brake system if you have a bad hydraulic part, but as far as just driving around in the everyday Georgia heat, no, you're not going to see the effects of that.
How do you know when your brakes are bad? Sometimes you can be riding around town, you hear squeak, squeak, squeak. How do you know if it's dust on your brakes, or, I mean, just how do you know?
That's when the professionals come in.
Okay.
We recommend a brake inspection at least once a year. If you drive more than 12,000 miles a year, bring it in twice a year. That way we can make sure your braking system is safe for you and everybody else. 90% of your brake pads have a wear indicator built into them that will touch the side of the brake rotor and cause a squeaky noise, letting the customer or the driver know that it's time to replace their brake pads. Some cars don't have them. Toyotas are known for not having them. A lot of times they'll go metal to metal and start grinding before the customer knows it's time to replace them, if they're not doing the regular inspections.
Okay. So is that, again, is it good to have them checked? Well, Toyota recommends 5,000 miles for oil change.
That's right.
Should I have it checked then? Or?
You should have your brakes checked at least once a year.
Once
if
a
you're doing
year.
an excessive amount of driving, over 12,000 miles,
Which I do.
then you might want to get it checked once every 6 months or every other oil change. At least visually inspected, if not pull the whole thing apart and look at it.
Okay. Now, how do you know? Because this is a good prop for you to see. Some of us have never seen brakes before. I just bring my car here. You call me. When it's done, I come get it. But tell my viewers what they're looking at on TV.
What you have is a cutaway of the tire. Of course, the two lug nuts that we talked about earlier. This is a brake rotor. The brake pad sits inside the brake caliper, and this is the brake caliper and hardware that holds the caliper to the rotor while everything's bolted together.
Now, one thing, my husband came up here, and he had his car done. It was squeaking, squeaking, squeaking too. When do you know you need rotors? When do you know you need calipers?
Every car has a specific measurement for the rotors. They give what's called a minimum thickness, which is the thickness of the brake rotor, the minimum thickness it can be at any given point. And the reason they do that is to prevent the brake pad at a metal to metal or very minimal thickness from slipping between the rotor and the brake caliper anchor plate and falling out. So we use different measurements. We measure the thickness of the rotors, and every one of them is different. Your car is different from his truck or my truck. We measure those, and then we're able to determine at that point if they're machinable or it's time to replace them.
Now, you have a lot of people that do their brake work at home, so
That's
a
right.
question came to you
Okay.
as soon as we got here, and I've changed my brakes, and it's squeaking. And you talked about washing something off.
That's right.
I am not no mechanic. My dad wasn't in my family. Tell my viewers about that, because that was interesting to me.
Well, the gentleman told me that he put new rotors all the way around his car, all four, and replaced the brake pads, and it's still squealing. However, he failed to wash the rotors before he installed them. The rotors are packed in their box with what's called cosmoline. It's an oil that prevents rust as the metal sits on the shelf. Before you purchase them, you need to take those out of the plastic casing and, of course, wash them before you put them on the car. Any lubricant on your brake rotor can cause an erratic brake system.
So
It'd be like spraying WD-40 between the brake rotor and pad.
So this, what it's packed into, can affect your brake system?
Absolutely. You need to make sure the rotors are washed and clean before you install them on a vehicle.
Okay, so for those of us who did not know this, you know this now. Because we always try to let somebody, you know, the economy is tight right now, so people are trying to save money however they can.
Oh, absolutely. I understand that.
So that's what made me say I would
Hot
ask
soap
you
and
that.
water is the best thing to clean them with.
What kind of soap? Is Dawn?
Dawn is the best.
Dawn is the best.
That we found. Yes, ma'am.
Well, how long should you leave them in there to be washed? The soap?
You just want to get the grease off of it. You want to get that cosmoline off of the rotor and then blow dry it or air dry it, and then put it on the car. You just want to get all that grease off of there. Anything that gets between the pad and the rotor that can cause a slick surface will cause erratic braking.
Now, there was one thing I want to ask this question again. I did it on my previous show. How do you know when they're not put on correctly? Some of us will get a friend to put on our brakes, and then they cost us a whole lot of trouble. How do,
Yes.
how do you know when they're not right? You would know, I wouldn't.
That's correct. That's when the professionals come back in. There's really no way to answer that. If you have a friend doing your brakes for you and they install them incorrectly, they're going to make noises, they're going to squeal, they possibly can grind if they put the pads in backwards. Maybe the brake caliper's upside down, you won't have a brake pedal. If it's not the same after you pick it up as when you took it in or better, then there's an issue.
Now, how can you, I want people to keep this, I'm drilling it in your head so you know. How can you put them on backwards? Because it looks like they can only fit.
Some of your brake calipers can actually flip upside down, and you can put them on reverse sides. That'll cause an air pocket issue. The brake pads will actually fit in the brake caliper anchor plate, reverse, so it's metal on metal.
Ooh. So how long will you know?
You'll know instantly. As
Oh,
soon as you touch
okay.
the brakes, you're going to hear a grinding noise.
Okay. So at that point, I need to come see you.
You need to bring it to me. That's
All
correct.
right. Well, we're going to commercial break, then we're coming back more with Tony, who's the manager at Midas here in Columbus, Georgia, on Manchester Expressway.
Come into Chester's Barbecue for our world-famous mouth-watering ribs, smoked fresh on our grill daily. Or try one of our barbecue pork plates with fresh sides. Chester's has delicious sandwich combos to choose from that are sure to please. We also serve tempting home-cooked favorites. And don't forget to take home your own bottle of great sauce. Chester's Barbecue, serving the best food at the best price. 3 locations to serve you.
Is your weight preventing you from leading a happy, healthy life? West Georgia Health in LaGrange is the only accredited center for weight loss surgery in the region to offer all 3 surgical options, and your procedure may be covered by insurance. To learn more about your weight loss surgery options, visit wghealth.org. West Georgia Health, so healthy together.
Come into Chester's Barbecue for our world-famous mouth-watering ribs, smoked fresh on our grill daily. Or try one of our barbecue pork plates with fresh sides. Chester's has delicious sandwich combos to choose from that are sure to please. We also serve tempting home-cooked favorites. And don't forget to take home your own bottle of great sauce. Chester's Barbecue, serving the best food at the best price. 3 locations to serve you.
For more than 60 years, the Dairy Queen recipe for success has been simple. It's been a combination of hardworking people, great tasting food, and tempting treats served in our establishments every day. Although a lot has changed in 60 years, some things remain the same. The smiles on children's faces, a treat for a good report card, close friends enjoying a great meal, and families spending quality time together. Here at DQ, we are always committed to treat you right.
Welcome you to be a part of our ministry. This is not a put on, but this is a come on. And we come to share in our different ministries with our dance team, with our choir, and our TV ministry. And we looking for great things to happen, great miracles to happen within this great thing to happen, great miracles to happen within this place. Come and be a part of the blessing plan.
Hello, welcome back to Unity. We are here on location at Midas in Columbus, Georgia, at their Manchester Expressway location, and I have their manager, Mr. Tony, with me today. Welcome to Unity.
Welcome back.
All right, we're talking about heat again. Tires.
Yes, ma'am.
Does the heat, because it get hot, I'm in Georgia, does the heat affect our tire?
Absolutely. As you're driving down the road, 70 miles an hour down the highway, the tire pressures will increase in your tire. But as you get home, park your car at night, set the parking brake and get out, they should deflate back to their previous set PSI.
By it being so hot, how much air should we keep in our tires?
You should always have what's recommended in the door. And then every driver's door, you open it, there's a tire placard. It's going to tell you exactly what the tire pressure needs to be for every car.
Now, while we were standing here, this is something I just added. I thought this was so neat, so I want my viewers to see it. A computer balancer. As many times as Big Girl's taking her car to the shop, I just leave the car. I have never seen this. Tell my viewers about this.
Well, this is a wheel balancer, and what it's doing is matching the rim and tire to weights to keep it in balance, so you don't have a vibration driving down the road. Because every tire built, it's got a high spot or a low spot in it. It's going to cause a vibration. We need to balance that out so that as you're driving 60 miles an hour down the road, it's not all over the place.
So you know I'm going to ask you this.
Okay.
How often should you get that tire balanced? When you know?
We usually check at balance. When a customer comes in and wants the tires rotated, we'll take one of the tires off the car and check the balance. As we did here, it is out of balance by ½ an ounce on the left side. If you're driving down the road, say 50 to 55 miles an hour, you have a vibration in the car. At 60 miles an hour, it stops. That's a good indication the tires are out of balance.
What could cause it to go out of balance? Is it a pothole like we have around here?
It is a possibility. You can throw a weight off the side. These little weights just clip onto the side of them. Okay, a weight can come off. The most common thing is when you buy a brand new tire, it comes a lot thicker than this. It comes with about 10-30 seconds of tread. As you drive it, that tread diminishes. Okay, so over 40 or 50,000 miles, you lose the tread that's on the tire. So being that you're losing the tread, the weight that you put on when it was first mounted to balance is not in the correct spot. It needs to be moved and changed. So
does each tire have its own weight? Because I see there's different things.
We have different weights for different rims.
Okay.
Okay, because these mount to the side of the wheels. It depends on the rim that you're going to use. Some use sticky weights that go on the inside. Some of them actually mount to the outside and inside of the tire.
What about the fancy rims?
The fancy rims usually use a sticky weight similar to this right here.
Oh, wow.
And it's just a peel and stick, and you'll balance it to the inside of the tire.
So that's different than the ones would be on my car, because I don't have nothing fancy.
That's right. You actually have steel wheels on your car, so it's going to take a weight similar to these right here, the ones we showed.
Awesome.
So they just mount to the side of the rim, and it'll balance out to where you get double zeros.
Okay. So when we see the computer on the balancer, tell them again, when do you know this is balanced?
When I have zeros on both sides.
Okay.
So we can remove the weight off of this and rebalance it and make it say 0. That's when I know it's been speed balanced to this tire.
Oh, wow. Okay, question. This seems to be a fairly good tire.
It's decent, yes ma'am.
It's decent. It looked good to me. Why you said it's decent?
Well, a new tire comes with 10-30 seconds in tread depth. We measure a tire using a tread depth gauge in various spots. This one here measures at 4:30 seconds. You see the 4? Mm-hmm. Okay. A new tire usually comes between 9 and 10. That'll give you your tread depth.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So this tire is about half of its life is done. So they'll probably get another 20, hopefully another 20,000 miles out of it and replace them.
Okay, like I told them, I said I'll ride a car, and be honest, telling myself on TV, I ride it to a baby be ball. I'm from the country. That's a ball made pop tire. Okay, when have I done went too far in your recommendation?
Every tire has built into it a tire tread wear bar, and that's that bar right here. You see it? Mm-hmm. Okay. That tire tread wear bar is at 2:30 seconds. When your thick tread equals that small bar, it is time to replace the tire. It's become unsafe at that point.
And I asked you something too, and I'm not knocking my used tire shops. I'm not. But is it good to get those tires and put on your car, or is it better just to get a new tire?
I guess that would depend on your budget and the type of tire that you're purchasing from the used tire shop. Of course, you can go up there and get 4 ball tires and put them on your car for a cheap price, but are you really getting something better than what's on the car, unless you have a blowout? I always recommend putting new tires on your car. They've been manufactured to be put on your vehicle. If you go buy a used tire, you may not be getting the right speed rating or pressure rating for your vehicle. You're just putting on somebody else's throwaways is what you're doing. So. Now, by all means, used tires, I have no problem with them. As long as you're buying the correct stuff and it's right for the vehicle and it makes it safer than what you have on it, absolutely you can use them. But if you should always try and use new tires.
How much longer can you go on a used tire?
It depends on the tread depth that you're buying. Well, how much life of the tire is left on the tires that you're purchasing.
Okay. I just thought I'd ask you that because I had one of my people I know real well bought a tire. Mm-hmm. That tire may have lasted about 3 months or less. Okay. But it appeared to, like this one, it appeared to be a good tire. So that's why I was like, if somebody's going, how will they know they don't went to, don't do it?
Well, as always with everything, inspections. You need to inspect the car regularly with every oil change. You can purchase a tire that is bad. It looks good on the outside, but bad on the inside. So
okay.
You got to be cautious buying used tires.
Well, also, I just want to say thank you so much for doing my show. And I want to say this. Midas has it. They have a credit card now. So if you come up here, I know the economy is tight, but you can apply and use a credit card.
Absolutely.
And get your car fixed. Show love and community and show love more.
Is it possible to have a love-love relationship with your cable company? What if they were a different kind of cable company, starting with not asking you to sign a contract? What if they actually listened to what you need, instead of trying to sell you something you don't? And let's say they backed up their service with a money-back guarantee. Just to be crazy, let's say this cable company was made up of happy people who treated you like an actual human being. We're WOW, and we'd like to change the way you feel about cable companies.
Is your weight preventing you from leading a happy, healthy life? West Georgia Health in LaGrange is the only accredited center for weight loss surgery in the region to offer all 3 surgical options, and your procedure may be covered by insurance. To learn more about your weight loss surgery options, visit wghealth.org. West Georgia Health, so healthy together.
For more than 60 years, the Dairy Queen recipe for success has been simple. It's been a combination of hardworking people, great tasting food, and tempting treats served in our establishments every day. Although a lot has changed in 60 years, some things remain the same. The smiles on children's faces, a treat for a good report card, close friends enjoying a great meal, and families spending quality time together. Here at DQ, we are always committed to treat you right.
Welcome you to be a part of our ministry. This is not a put on, but this is a come on. And we come to share in our different ministries with our dance team, with our choir, and our TV ministry. And we looking for great things to happen, great miracles to happen within this great thing to happen, great miracles to happen within this place. Come and be a part of the blessing plan.
Come into Chester's Barbecue for our world-famous mouth-watering ribs, smoked fresh on our grill daily. Or try one of our barbecue pork plates with fresh sides. Chester's has delicious sandwich combos to choose from that are sure to please. We also serve tempting home-cooked favorites. And don't forget to take home your own bottle of great sauce. Chester's Barbecue, serving the best food at the best price, with 3 locations to serve you.
Is your weight preventing you from leading a happy, healthy life? West Georgia Health in LaGrange is the only accredited center for weight loss surgery in the region to offer all 3 surgical options, and your procedure may be covered by insurance. To learn more about your weight loss surgery options, visit wghealth.org. West Georgia Health, so healthy together.
Thank you for watching Unity with Pam. If you would like to be a sponsor, please contact us or visit unitywithpam.org.